In 2016, I worked on an adventure cruise that went from St. John's, Newfoundland, up the coast of Newfoundland and then northern Labrador and crossed over to Greenland. And I was supposed to be the sing-along guy on the cruise, but I'm not really a sing-along guy. So, but one of the other jobs that I had was guiding people from the ship to the various places we stopped at. And one of the places was an abandoned or relocated missionary village called Hebron. And I found the experience really moving, and I wrote this song about that. It's about how what a disaster it was that the community was moved. I heard a story on a ship off the coast of Labrador. It's not my story, but it needs to be passed on. So forgive me if you will, my mistakes in any details, as I try to speak for others in this song. My name is Nakasak. I come from Labrador, the settlement called Hebron. Hebron Bay was my shore. All my days I'd hunt and fish, working with my hands, and I loved to play the trumpet in the missionaries' band. In the spring of '59, the announcement made in church, the plan they called resettlement would ease the public purse. They took us from our homes by signing a few pages, and soon we left our ancestors in the Torngat Mountain ranges. From the land we knew by heart to a land that's unforgiving. Back home we had a life, down here we're barely living. The easy arrogance of others forced us to depart to a land that's unforgiving, from the land we knew by heart. No homes in which to put us, no one's waiting arms and welcome. The food was scarce, and what was worse, families were badly broken. Lost, alone, and lonely, we wintered in our tents. Our children lost their language, we never had a chance. From the land we knew by heart to a land that's unforgiving. Back home we had a life, down here we're barely living. The easy arrogance of others forced us to depart to a land that's unforgiving, from the land we knew by heart. Walk the beach at Rama and see bear tracks on the sand. Well, they will wash away soon enough, as we were washed from the land. But our spirits prevail, because our pride is strong. We will forgive, but we won't forget, as time goes on, and we go on and on. From the land we knew by heart to a land that's unforgiving. Back home we had a life, down here we're barely living. The easy arrogance of others forced us to depart to a land that's unforgiving, from the land we knew by heart. To a land that's unforgiving, from the land we knew by heart. To a land that's unforgiving, from the land we knew by Yeah. I meant to clear my throat all the way through that. Excuse me. So there's no real story behind this one. I just thought this next one, I thought that things were kind of shitty in the world. I wrote it like 20 years ago, though, so things are way shittier now. And it still applies, but I kind of hope that things would get better. Not because of my song, but I kind of hope things would get better regardless. Anyway. It's a hard, cold world, and it's just getting colder. While you and me argue, we're getting nothing but older. We're not getting better, we're not getting smarter. It's a hard, cold world, and it's just getting harder. It's a hard, cold world, full of imperfect strangers whose grinning faces barely mask mortal danger. Silly politicians using human lives for barter. It's a hard, cold world, and it's just getting harder. And we stood by and watched it crumble. We stood by and watched it sink. We just stammered, joked and mumbled, and had another drink. It's a hard, cold world, full of self-styled winners who'll trample wounded bodies and watch you starve while they serve dinner. They steal wallets from dead men's pockets while the pile smokes and smolders. It's a hard, cold world, and it's just getting colder. And we stood by and watched it crumble. We stood by and watched it sink. We just stammered, joked and mumbled, and had another drink. It's a hard, cold world. Well, I guess you got the picture. I don't believe that the answer is in the wind or in the scriptures. There's no answer, my friend. And I don't mean to be a scolder, but it's a hard, cold world, and it's just getting colder. We're not getting better, we're not getting stronger. It's a hard, cold world, and it's just getting harder. Yeah. Well, I picked a lot of songs with capos. And every song has a story, and I'm actually against that. I teach songwriting, and I always tell my students, you know, you don't have to tell a story before every song. But apparently I do today, so yeah. The students call that the no preamble rule. Because sometimes I don't think you need to say this next song is about. However, this next song is about, it's about my sister and I taking care of our mother as she, all the songs are so dark. Wow, I just realized that. Oh well. My sister and I, we took care of our mother while she was declining. And I didn't want to write it from my point of view. I didn't want to have it be, oh, poor me, I lost my mom. So I wrote it about my sister, who used to work in a call center, a Rogers call center. So that sort of features in the song a little bit. But anyway. Lucy took another call. She knew would be recorded for the purposes of quality control. She gave out some information. She upgraded an account and briefly wondered what had happened to her soul. She stretched her neck and yawned and shrugged and thought about the weekend and how she'd finally have the chance to just sleep in. But in her dreams she is soaring out over the ocean, arms outstretched as wings, her hair shining in the sun. In her dreams she is no prisoner of the day-to-day routine. She really loves to fly in her dreams. Lucy glanced up at the time, and as her customer complained, she thought of how her mom's not doing great. Confused and unhappy, Lucy visits her on Tuesdays, trying not to think of her mother as a weight. She listens as her customer goes on and on and on. Then she offers all she could offer all along. But in her dreams she is soaring out over the ocean, arms outstretched as wings, her hair shining in the sun. In her dreams she is no prisoner of the day-to-day routine. She really loves to fly in her dreams. It seems she either sleeps too much or barely sleeps at all. She wanders in a haze from day to day. Feeling lonely is a luxury. She knows others' lives are tougher and feels guilty when she wishes she could trade hers for another. But in her dreams she is soaring out over the ocean, arms outstretched as wings, her hair shining in the sun. In her dreams she is no prisoner of the day-to-day routine. She really loves to fly in her dreams. In her dreams life is easy. Her mother's with her laughing. They keep each other's secrets and they hold each other's hands. In her dreams she is so far away, and when she wakes she wonders if today might be the day she learns to fly like she does in her dreams. Yeah, it's more about my sister than my mom, I think. But my sister's never heard that song, and I don't know that she'd be interested. It's hard to say. My family's sort of odd. They like music, but at a distance. Or maybe it's just mine, now that I think of it. That'd be funny. We love music. Not yours, but we love me. Anyway. Okay, this song doesn't need a story in advance, but of course I'll give one anyway, just a brief one. But most of the story is laid out in the song. It's a true story, as far as I know. It's a song about the guy who wrote the Monster Mash. Now I know what you're thinking. not another song about the guy who wrote the Monster Mash. Because, you know, there are so many. It's actually about the idea of the one-hit wonder and how that bugs me. But what bugs me is not that they had a hit. It bugs me that people think it's funny that they had a hit. People are sort of dismissive of the one-hit wonder. And I think, hey, they had a hit. You didn't have a hit. Imagine Bobby Boris Pickett in a parking lot, Sarasota, Florida. The evening air is not too hot. It's Halloween night, 1992. Bobby Boris Pickett with a pickup band. We're hoping just to make a splash, but thinking not tonight as they all shake hands and crank up the chords to the Monster Mash. 20 people or so glance up from their beer as Bobby is introduced. And for the millionth time in 30 years, the monster's revived and let loose. And they clap for the one-hit wonder, laugh at the tune they know, and they dance and they sing to the song that they first heard so many years ago. He's wearing Frankenstein grease paint, an old suit and boots, standing on a makeshift stage. It's a nightmare gig and it's not too cute, but his rent is due, so Bobby bears down. Trying to feel out the crowd, he starts reminiscing as the band goes from bad to worse. Some moron yells out, hey, shut up and sing. So Bobby launches into the verse, fronting this band of mulleted boys who are younger than his song. Bobby shuffles his feet and finds his voice, and with knowing grins, the crowd sings along, and they clap for the one-hit wonder, laugh at the tune they know, and they dance and they sing to the song that they first heard so many years ago. Bobby will joke that it's all been a lark, but 30 years on, he's still trapped in the dark. His Hollywood gang, more famous or more dead, don't hang out with him no more, so Bobby gigs instead. I wanted him to hear this song, so I sent him an email, Bobby Pickett, and I said, hey, I wrote a song about you. You want to hear it? Pretty straightforward. And I got an email back that said, Mr. Pickett is not currently recording new material. And I thought, no, I got mad. So I did what you do in an email when you get mad. I typed in all caps. And I said, no, I wrote a song about you. I put an asterisk on either side of the word about. About you, not a song for you to record. All I know is if somebody wrote a song about me, I'd be curious to hear it. And the next day I got an email back from him and it said, bring it on, and had a snail mail address. Because in those days, this is how long ago it was, you had to mail a CD. That's what it was like. A CD is a compact disc. It's an optical storage device that we used to use before vinyl returned. And anyway, you can look that all up. But anyway, about 3 months later, he died. I'm not suggesting, I don't know. Maybe there's a connection, I don't know. And they clap for the one-hit wonder, laugh at the tune they know, and they dance and they sing to the song that they first heard so many